My name is Revindranath Roshni and I'm from Group 3. Today we are going to speak about the three topics. First is the science of learning with stress and fear. Fear is an emotion induced when a threat to our physical or physiological well-being because it can change in brain and organ function and it causes change in behavior. Then we find three ways out from fear and stress, like freeze, fight, or flight. Next, high pressure triggers the same response. Scientists concluded that when we panicked due to any reason, it can create a tunnel vision, where then our vision becomes smaller and limited, and we cannot find road to our success. Next time, if we are stressed or panicked during exams or anything, breathe in and count up to 5 and then breathe out and repeat this for at least 5 minutes. So the next topic is finding new way to learn science. Approaching the teaching and learning of science as a science by doing controlled experiments and different way of teaching and measuring results. Most revealing measures of learning looking at the decision scientists make in simple relevant situation. Comparing learning, that is with conventional lectures versus scientists teaching. Next, there are some examples. First one is learning in classroom. Two nearly identical 250 students section. First, same learning objectives and same class time and same test. Second example is learning gained from entire course by applying concept of force and motion. Third example is failure and dropouts. Same instructors, new teaching methods and greater students' learning and success. Next is a question, that is what happening in these classes. Students are solving tasks and instructors is circulating, listening in and coaching them leads to follow-up decision or discussion. Supporting with technology like interactive simulation and sophomore year quantum physical course. These are the some technologies. Researchers demonstrating fundamental principles. Effective learning of science require practical of the desired thinking process with guiding feedback. Carefully designed task and ongoing researches. Next, the third last topic is learning with passion and enthusiasm. If we accept something to happen, the brain will release the happiness chemical like dopamine, endorphin, and other neurotransmitters. But not everything fun will not help us to learn. For example, shopping. Shopping makes us happy, but it lasts only 12 seconds. That is found out by scientists. Then that dopamine level drops. So the neuroscientist Dr. Hudo argued that young children can learn multiple languages and any other things by mainly because of their ability to be excited. If we are able to constantly learn new things in an exciting way, the chemicals released in your brain are likely to be outlift the pleasure. It seems happiness and learning are not only come from the same origin, but in our brain, but also promotes one another.
Drastuit, my name is Kalatil Muhammad Alfat Rahman and I am from third group. So, grit it is a combination of character traits such as self-control, passion, and perseverance. Many modern psychologists, educators, and parents now believe it's more important for success in life than good grades at school or an outstanding intelligence. Angela Duckworth, she is a popular psychologist. Later, she invented that so-called grit scale, which is a questionnaire to predict success. And self-control allows us to wait even if some things look very attractive, and it is self-control. It is a good advantage in our life. And the one way to develop grit is us to realize that we are eliminate our weakness with practice. The researchers concluded that 2 years at preschool nourished the children not only in intellectually but also give them social skills, courage, and perseverance. The combination of character strength is also called as grit. Many economists and educators from world's leading university research and discovered that many things don't matter, such as classroom, new technology. The matter they suggest that the secret of the students are amazing. The secret to the excellence of the students are by amazing teachers. Teachers teaching is highly complex skill. It involves a deep conversation or understanding of the subject matter, and there is a ability to explain complex in simple ways. Specific.
I'm Kaipadathu Vinod Chandra from 3rd group. Executive function, the brain's control center. Executive functions are the mental processes that enable us to plan, focus attention, remember instruction, and juggle multiple tasks successfully. We can distinguish between 3 components. First one is working memory, second one is inhibitory control, and third one is cognitive flexibility. All 3 are interlinked and influence each other. The psychologist Deborah Phillips from Georgetown University calls it the air traffic control system of our brain. Like an air traffic control system controls a lot of aeroplanes departing and landing with perfect timing, we have to manage a lot of information and distraction simultaneously. Without good executive functions, disaster strikes. Let us look at the 3 components. First one is working memory. It is responsible for the processing information. If well developed, it allows us to manage multiple chunks of information at the same time. Complex tasks can be solved and deep ideas understood. Without much of it, our intelligence is limited. Second one is inhibitory control. It describes our capability to concentrate, regulates our emotions, and control our behavior during stressful situations. It is an essential skill if we want to change a childhood habit. Without it, we might have trouble to control our behavior and come across as weird. Then third one is cognitive flexibility. Cognitive flexibility is ability to adapt to a new task quickly and to change our perspective. If we have a little of it, we can't adapt, get stuck in old thoughts and have a tunnel vision. We come across as stubborn and uncooperative. Executive functions develops mainly during the first 5 years of our lives. A caring, playful and nourishing childhood is the best to bet increase them. Free play trains our inhibitory control and games practice our working memory. Playing an instrument trains our brain to process the notes and to coordinate the right and left hand simultaneously. If others are listening, we can control our emotions. Movement is great as well. Playing football builds the cognitive flexibility. Without lot of practice as kids, we became real executives of our own minds. In 1983, American psychologist Howard Gardner published a book named Frames of Mind with a theory that there are 9 types of intelligence. To understand this theory, let's consider the problems of Council of Newtown, who wants to build a bridge over the dangerous railroad tracks. But there is a strong opposition from the citizens who don't like the change. Despite the demonstration, the council agrees to go ahead and then hires a team of 9 experts from the Smart & Co. to get the job done. Let's introduce each one of them. Picture Smart has a lot of imagination and ideas about the shape. Her job is to create the plans, make the design, and build a prototype. Nature Smart loves trees, and he has a great idea of how to minimize the impact of the bridge on the environment. Number Smart is a nerd. She will calculate the cost, study worker safety issues, and estimate the raw materials needed. Her concerns are budget, resources, and risks. People Smart arranges a town meeting and goes to invite all the citizens to come. She was always good with people. She does a great job convincing everyone, even the most outspoken opponents. For the big town hall meeting, she writes a convincing speech filled with hard facts, big feelings, and great metaphors. The Live Smart knows how to talk and entertain. He shows his skills on the stage. He starts his speech with a personal story about his cat that one got lost on the train tracks. Then he delivers all the arguments with so much passion that citizens can only agree with the plan. As construction starts, he gets ready to get things done. Even the children are inspired by his power and want to help. Cell Smart knows a lot about feelings. During the construction, she is the positive force, motivate those who feel down, and solves the tension that can come up when we collaborate. While everyone is busy finishing the bridge, she writes a song for the grand opening. At the opening ceremony of the bridge, she and her band performs the song. It was a fantastic team effort of all the 9 from the Smart & Co. In 2016, Gardner said that he is considering adding pedagogical intelligence or Teach Smart. The attachment theory argues that a strong emotional and physical bond to one primary caregiver in our first years of life is critical to our development. If our bonding is strong and we are securely attached, then we feel safe to explore the world. We know there is always a safe base to which we can return at any time. If the bond is weak, we feel insecurely attached. We are afraid to leave or explore a rather scary looking world because we are not sure if we can return. People who are securely attached are said to have greater trust, can connect to the others. As a result, are more successful in life. Insecurely attached people tend to mistrust others, lack social skills, and have problems forming relationships. There are 1 type of secure attachment and 3 types of insecure attachment. First one is anxious ambivalent, second one is anxious avoidant, and third one is anxious disorganized. In response to distress, the first 3 react organized while the last act disorganized. Our attachment is formed in the very first years of our lives, a time when we are too young to communicate our anxiety and as a result can experience high levels of stress. Then our adrenal gland produces the stress hormones, that is adrenaline and cortisol. The heart rate increases, BP goes up, and we become alert. If that happens frequently, it is called toxic stress. It impairs the development of a child's brain and weakens the immune system. There is another reason that the early stages or early years of life deserve special attention. They are the starting place for our subsequent behaviors. The psychologist John Bowley, a pioneer in attachment theory, allegedly said, "What cannot be communicated to the mother cannot be communicated to the self." In other words, those who feel insecurely attached might not quite understand themselves. To get to know who they are and what they feel, they might have to go back in time. Learning organization encourages personal mastery and cultivate open feedback to see the problems and opportunities on all levels. Here are 6 characteristics. They cherish an open culture Learning organization encourages everyone to share information, admit to mistakes, and practice giving and taking constructive criticism. They design and implement feedback loops. Some establish 360-degree survey in which the people access themselves, their peers, and their bosses. Employees at five-star hotels ask guests for their opinions. Top schools may videotape teachers so that they can later study themselves. Some even make a feedback at team effort. They promote personal mastery. Employees try to achieve personal masteries in their fields. Once they become experts, they feel proud of their work and they are motivated intrinsically, and they can create positive change wherever they are. They plan for intelligent fast failures. When they build something new, they don't spend time assumptions on paper. Instead, they create what is called a minimum viable product, a simple prototype with only the core functions. Then this is presented to users as early as possible to test what they think. Because it is imperfect, even friends give their honest opinion. You can so improve while going forward. They steal best practices. Learning organizations study others, steal the best practices, and then implement them fast. Picasso apparently said, "Good artists borrow, great artists steal." A learning organization prospers when all members share a common vision. That way, employees can understand the importance of their roles, connects the dots, and develop systems thinking. When the goals are clear, regulation can be reduced and people can create their own personal benchmark of success. This reduces the bureaucracy, authority, and corruption. At a learning organization, education happens as a side product of working together, as everybody learns from each other to adapt whatever the future might bring. Thank you.